Hi. Now, if you have ever bought a property in Nigeria, especially in any of the three major cities of Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, you must have come across the subject matter that I'm going to be discussing in this video today. This is one issue that has created misreaction and confusion among investors. And so today, I'm going to be educating you on the subject of development fee. Yes, it is the more reason why you need to watch this video to the end, because at the end you will be better informed. And of course, you know that when you are informed, you can make better decisions when it comes to your real estate investment. It's on that note that I welcome you to this edition of RealVest Guides. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, you are welcome. I'm excited to have you. And of course, if you are a returning subscriber, I'm also honored to have you. Please click the subscribe and notification bell for free so that you can always get interesting updates on this platform. Without wasting much time, let's get into the business of the day. What exactly is development fee? Primarily speaking, development fee is part of the statutory fee that an investor pays after purchasing a property, whether land or houses. In the simplest term, the essence of development fee is to provide basic facilities in an estate. How do I mean? Now, if you look very well in my present location, I'm actually in an estate. This is Lagoon Front Gate. It's actually one of the estates that is selling right here in Lekki. It's situated along the Lekki Expressway. Now, if you look very well, you can see that there is a gatehouse here. This is a gatehouse, like you can see. This is a gatehouse where visitors will be cleared when they come to this estate. By my right hand, you can also see that we have a perimeter fencing, and of course, you can see the flowers. And of course, where I am standing, you can see that this place is well interlocked. And then on the other end there, you can also see another part of the fence, gatehouse. You can also see another part of the perimeter fencing, and you can see the flowers and all of that. Now, beside this gatehouse, in here we have also security house. We have, which means that we have security personnel who watch over this property day in, day out. Now, the essence is to ensure that the property is secured. Now, all of this is done courtesy of development fee. By that, I mean that the perimeter fencing you are seeing, the interlocking you can see here, you can see the entrance, the gatehouse you are seeing here, as well as every other facility you can see, is courtesy of development fee. So that is the primary purpose of development fee.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning. I'm the security of this estate, name of the estate. I'm the one making of the estate so that nobody can enter already if I know allow me. So we are two. My second name is Adamu. We are watching over here 24 hours.
So if you not allow anybody here, nobody will enter here. No money let them enter here.
No anybody can enter.
So people put their money here and they will be safe.
Yes.
Major uses of development fee, or one of the reasons why you pay development fee for an estate, is because it is used to provide basic infrastructure that makes living in the estate worthwhile. And I'm sure, what is an estate without those infrastructures? It is actually those facilities or infrastructures that makes the difference. That is why it is called an estate. When you come to an estate, you see the security personnel, you see the green area, you see lightning, you see electric poles and all of that. All of those facilities is courtesy of development fee. Now, another thing that I have observed that creates a whole lot of confusion in the mind of investors when it also comes to this issue of development fee is, why does it differ? Why does the amount differ from one estate to the other? Now, to answer that, which is the second thing I want you to know today, as far as the issue of development fee is concerned, one of the reasons for that is one, location. The second is the level of proposed facilities, and the third is socio-economic factors. How do I mean? Location. Now, it simply means that one reason why the amount of development fee differs from one estate to the other is location. By that, I mean that if you have an estate that's located in a location that is not yet developed, say a location that will develop in the next 5 years, you'll find out that basically the development fee for that estate will not be so much. It might be 200, it might be 300, it might be 500,000. The reason is simple. All that is needed for that estate is basic infrastructure such as road network, perimeter fencing, security house, and security personnel that will watch over it. The essence of having that road infrastructure is so that when you, the investor, go to that estate, even after buying, you should be able to drive to that estate to check out how your property is doing. You have the perimeter fencing which secures the property in times of security, and of course you have security personnel. On the other hand, if you have an estate such as the one I am presently, that is a buy and build. As we speak, I have a client who is intending to start building in this estate by the month of August. This simply means that this estate is a buy and build. So it means that the infrastructure in this estate that is situated in a buy and build area will certainly be different, because you need to put in place facilities that will enable people to live here comfortably, because they are buying to start building immediately. Note the difference. The other one is an estate for investment, future investment. The order is required for that location is just some basic infrastructure. The location that is a buy and build, the infrastructure will certainly be higher, because you need to put electricity, you need to put road network, like you can see here. So the number two thing I want you to note is that one of the difference why prices of development fee differ from one estate to the other is location. The number two thing that causes difference in terms of price of development fee is level of proposed infrastructure. Like I told you earlier, beyond having the perimeter fencing, beyond having the interlocked area for the road, beyond having the security personnel, you can see this is what security gate house, and you can see that this very estate has two entrances. All right, one is for entrance, another one is for exit, and beside this gatehouse you can see there is another gatehouse, an alternative gatehouse on the other side. There's an alternative gatehouse on the other side, and we still have another one on this other flat. So the level of infrastructure is another reason why the prices of development fee differs from one estate to the other. On my left hand, you can see already that we have, for example, there is an ongoing construction of the internal road of this estate, and of course if you look downward you also see that the work is ongoing on the drainage system. Now this estate is well mapped out. All right, so the level of facility or infrastructure in an estate is another thing that determines or influences the prices of development fee in an estate. Now let me also inform you that in this estate, for example, the infrastructure fee for this estate is 4,000 naira per square meter. Yes, this very estate, the development fee for this estate is 4,000 naira per square meter, which simply means that if you are getting a 500 square meter land in this estate, your development fee is going to be 2 million naira. All right, this is how it works, and this is not just peculiar to Lagos. Like I said, if you've ever bought property in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, it is the same thing. When you go to the most popular estates in Lagos, say Perenwinkle Estate, Mefe Gardens, Emin Estate, and all of that, when you walk into an estate, you see the green area, everything is looking beautiful. You see the security personnel, you see all of the street light, even in the night. Like you go to Crown Estate, you need to understand that all of those things is courtesy of development fee. It's not just peculiar to Lagos. If you go to Abuja, some popular estate like the Goshen Estate, the Sunshine Estate, or the Sun Villa, you will see that all of those arrangements, this beautiful neighborhood you have there, is courtesy of development fee. The same thing with Port Harcourt. If you visit the most popular estates in Port Harcourt, such as the Golf Estate, like the Transamade Gardens, if you enter those estates, you will see the beauty, you see the arrangement. From the security point, you have to call the resident before you can access them. All of those things are courtesy of development fee. Now, when you get to an estate, you find out that the estate is beautiful. You talk about the mapping. Of course, one thing you must know that when it comes to an estate, it is arranged in such a way that you can feel the beauty and the aesthetics. Even the buildings, in terms of the level of that building, you find that there is uniformity. And you go into the estate, just like this estate I'm talking about, you can look, if you look downward, you see that this is one access road, there is another road, there is another one over there. So it is actually called mapping. So the layout, all of these things, at the end of the day, by the time they are done, you find out that they actually come out beautiful. So all of that, the level of infrastructure or facility in an estate will actually determine the cost of that development fee. Lastly, for this estate, we're going to be having a transformer that will be dedicated to this estate. It means that beyond having electric poles, beyond having a light and all of that, we're going to be having a transformer that will be serving solely for this estate. Of course, this is a dry land that is facing the water. The third point that also differentiates or influences the prices of development fee among estates is issue of socio-economic factors. Like I have talked about in my previous video, I'm going to drop the link here where I was talking about factors that influence the prices of properties in Nigeria. You will need to watch that video to add up to this. But the truth is that when it also comes to prices of development fee, issue of socio-economic factors influences the prices. By that I mean that if as of the time an estate was launched, a bag of cement was selling for 3,000 naira, and currently a bag of cement is selling for 4,000 naira, it certainly means that the developer have to also up the development fee to enable them meet up. Because at the end of the day, all of these facilities I've shown you, the gatehouse, the perimeter fencing, and all of that, drainage, they are all done with what? Materials. So the cost of building material and all of that, you also have the issue of naira to dollar exchange rate, you also have the issue of demand and supply, the issue of inflation. All of this, generally speaking, the cost of building materials, which of course is influenced by issue of economic factors, is another point that influences the prices of development fees. So like I said, the number two thing you need to note so far in this video is that one of the reasons why development fee differs from one estate to the other is one, location. Number two, I said, is level of proposed infrastructure, and number three is economic variables or factors. All right, so now having said all of this, the question becomes, where do you as an investor come in a situation where developers collect money for infrastructure and they do not deliver? Let me say it that if you are an investor, if you buy a property and you pay development fee, it is your right to see that infrastructure. And so in a situation where you don't see such infrastructure in place, you can actually sue the developer. But the good news is, for us, the companies we partner with so far are known to deliver when it comes to infrastructure. Like you can see down here, you can see that work is ongoing, like I've told you earlier, for the drainage, and you can see the mapping, and on this other hand of the estate, you can also see that work is ongoing. So these people are known to deliver in time, so it is your right to actually see those infrastructure. Now you begin to wonder, why do we even have to pay for development fee? Well, we have to because it is necessary to give you the kind of lifestyle you want to enjoy in an estate. When you come into the estate, you see a playground, you see the basketball court, you see the constant light, you see transformer, you see security personnel, you see the green area, you see the drainage system, you see the road is well interlocked. All of this facility is costing on development fee, like I earlier mentioned. Now you may be wondering, why do we need to pay development fee to have these basic infrastructures I've talked about, like road, lightning, and all of that? Well, like you may already know, ours is a system with very poor governance, which means that all of this infrastructure is lacking in our system. And oftentimes, when you have a new development area, government do not provide this infrastructure. And so developer takes it on themselves to provide this basic infrastructure. For example, the issue of lights, they have a new location. Like this place now, this is Lagos. Lagos is under the Eco City Distribution Company. But to have electricity in this estate, developers will wait on government because they are not going to provide it. And so it is the developer that will provide the pole, it is the developer that will provide the cable, it is the developer that will provide the wire and all of that, all to ensure that there is light in this estate. And beyond that, it is also the developer that will buy the transformer that will serve this estate, that will power this estate. So all of this is the reason why development fee is usually charged by developers to give you the experience you wish to have in an estate. And of course, this is one reason why oftentimes beyond even property, even in times of rent, sometimes people are like, okay, I rent an apartment in Lekki for 10 million and I have to pay service charge of let's say 5 million. All of that, although I actually have another video for that which I'm going to drop the link on this, but I want you to know that all of those factors is as a result of the level of infrastructure that the estate has to put in place to make life enjoyable and worth living in that estate. But like I said, beyond paying for this development fee, ensure that when you pay, you also monitor to ensure that those facilities are in place. What is the remedy? The only remedy that can lead to reduction in prices of development fee is if we have a responsible government. If you have a situation where government will begin to live up to expectation, when government see a new location like this, they say, if government can come and say, okay, we'll help you do roads that will connect your estate to the express road, or we'll help you with internal road, or we'll help you at least with electricity, that will go a long way to reduce the issue of development fee in an estate. But until then, for you to have the kind of comfort and security you want to have in an estate, it requires certain basic infrastructure and facilities, which is only possible with development fee. Like I said, if you're an investor, this is the situation, whether in Lagos, whether in Port Harcourt, whether in Abuja, all of the major estates you can take. In fact, early this morning I was checking out something on the internet about the Eco Atlantic City, and you needed to see, when we were talking about the price of property in that location, you needed to see how much you were calling for the infrastructure. So all of these things put together is what is done with development fee, which I need you to understand. All right, so summarily, in this video today, we've talked about development fee, and I mentioned to you that the essence of development fee primarily is to provide basic infrastructures or facilities in an estate that makes life enjoyable and worth living. Secondly, I also mentioned to you that one of the reasons why development fee differs from one estate to the other is cost of one, location, number two, level of proposed facilities, and number three, economic factors. I also mentioned to you that beyond paying development fee, it is also your right to follow up, to observe and monitor the process of those infrastructures put in place, because sometimes some developers can be funny. They will collect the money and at the end of the day they don't do anything. So it is your right, and if you don't do that, if you don't see that facility in place, you can actually sue the company in question. And of course, lastly, I mentioned to you that one of the reasons why we need to pay development fee is because government does not provide the basic facilities that makes life worth living an estate. As such, the only way developers can put those facilities in place is courtesy of development fee. I do hope that I made sense to you. If you found value in this video, please do well to share this. Please do well to react, like and comment. And of course, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please, I am begging you, do well to click the subscribe and notification bell. By so doing, I need to get more visibility, and that also motivates us to drop more very rich content on this platform. Don't forget that video or any of real estate products and services, simply call the number on your screen or the number that will be on the bio. It's always a pleasure to provide you the right information so that you can make the right investment decision. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.